Coming up on SUTV, we'll tell you about International Education Week.
And we'll tell you about how one SU student made a difference through his EDGE project. Stay tuned.
Welcome to SUTV News. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Grace Schultz.
And I'm Colton Gordon.
SU's School of Business has a new dean. Interim Dean Mary Pearson was officially named as dean on Monday. Pearson has been serving as interim dean since July of this year and has been teaching at SUU for 18 years. She was selected after a national search by an outside consulting firm. Pearson will be the first dean to serve in the new School of Business in the new business building, which is currently under construction. The building is expected to be complete by fall 2018. As dean, Pearson will oversee the 9 departments that fall within the School of Business.
Two Utah monuments are far smaller today than they were yesterday. Donald Trump's first visit to Utah went exactly as planned, with the president shrinking both Bears Ears and Grand Staircase Escalante. Trump reduced Bears Ears from 1.5 million acres into 2 separate monuments, one just over 84,000 acres and one just over 100,000 acres. Grand Staircase Escalante was also divided into 3 separate monuments ranging from 200,000 acres to 550,000 acres. During his less than 12-hour visit, Trump also visited the LDS Church's Welfare Square and met with religious leaders. Protesters followed Trump throughout the day, eventually blocking all traffic on State Street. Within hours of Trump's monument announcement, 8 conservation groups filed a lawsuit against the president in federal court.
Iron County's population is increasing. New population figures released last week show a 3% increase in population from 2016 to 2017. Iron County added just over 1,500 people to Cedar City and the surrounding area. That number is up 13.3% since 2010. All of Utah has been on an upward growth trend since 2010. The state has seen a 12.7% increase in the population in the last 7 years.
Before graduation, SU requires students to create a project to help better themselves for future employers. The program allows students to get creative with what they can do. Some students are even able to travel.
The EDGE program on campus is a way for students to make and do something in order to get a leg up on applying for a job. But for junior Taylor Park, it was about making a difference.
I was at an intervarsity conference called Fall Conference, and we were having a worship night, and we were singing about how we could be of service to God. And I was thinking, how could I be of service to God in my field? And then the idea dawned on me that there are groups that go to third world countries to help them with farming and teaching them how to farm more effectively and so on.
After making contacts, raising the money to go, and traveling, Taylor's idea became a reality.
I did everything from when I first got there. They were having trouble with armyworm in their corn, which was eating their corn up, and so like first day we went out and we sprayed organic poison for the armyworm, and we had some real good success with that. And then so I did everything from plant beans to spray corn down and all that stuff, and that was like the first 2 days. I helped plant cabbage and tomatoes other days. I helped transplant some bamboo. That was interesting. And so I just come down and smack it, and then water comes shooting out, and I was like, huh, is that normal or or what? And they're like, I think you hit a pipe. Oh, that's what I thought.
With over 6,000 miles traveled and more than 80 hours working, Taylor has plenty of experience for his project.
I did have my eyes open to some new concepts that I hadn't thought of before. But a lot of fun. Did a lot of cool things. And yeah, it's an overall really good experience.
For SUTV News, I'm William Robertson.
Just before Thanksgiving, SU joined the United States in celebrating International Education Week. Our reporter Charlotte Thalhammer has the story.
International Education Week is an opportunity to celebrate the importance of worldwide exchange. It was created by a joint initiative of the U.S. Department of State and the U.S. Department of Education and is taking place from November 13th through November 17th. International education in form of study abroad, language studies, or cultural exchange experiences prepares American students of all ages for a global environment and gives them an advantage for the future. Emily Forshee, an international student advisor from the International Affairs Office here at SUU, says that study abroad is only one opportunity to learn more about cultures.
It could be about the opposite, about how kids are coming from other countries to the United States and how they feel and what their experiences are. So it's very eye-opening for everyone involved.
For International Education Week, SUU has put together events such as karaoke night, a poetry slam, study abroad panels, or crafting stations where students from the U.S. and from other countries are welcome to come and mingle and make new friends.
I mean, who wouldn't want to make a friend? And you get to learn about different people's experiences from all over the world while you do it, so it's cool.
2 girls who have been missing since September are back home safe today. Dinah Colthrop and her little sister Hattie were found yesterday in Iron County. The 2 sisters were being held by a religious sect leader who is now in police custody. The girls' father, John Colthrop, is friends with the man in custody, Samuel Schaefer. Colthrop kidnapped his daughter's son's parents in September from their home in Spring City, Utah. Colthrop was arrested on Friday and is being currently held in the St. Pete County Jail. The rest of Colthrop's family was found in a compound in Spring City on Monday as well. Colthrop brought his family to Utah to start a religious survivalist cult with Schaefer. The group, called the Knights of the Crystal Blade, believe the world is coming to an end and they are preparing for it. All 4 of the children are now back with their mother, who is filing for divorce from Colthrop and for custody of the kids.
That's pretty crazy,
Yeah.
right? You don't hear
Like
about
it happens right here, too.
Yeah, doomsday cults.
Yeah.
They're near you.
We're in Cedar City, Utah.
In Cedar City, Utah.
Kind of
Yeah.
out there.
Super weird. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you about what was found after the Bryan Head fire.
And we'll fill you in on the recent North Korean missile launch. Stay with us.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
2 families are grieving this week after a car crash killed 5 people in Iron County over Thanksgiving weekend. 2 SUVs collided on State Route 56 after Cedar City resident Fernando Ruiz crossed into the westbound lane. Ruiz collided with a Ford Escape carrying 4 passengers: Jesus Jimenez Lopez, Lydia Jimenez, Jose Jimenez, and Juan Antonio Jimenez Sanchez. Ruiz's car flipped off the highway and the Ford Escape burst into flames. All of the victims died on the scene. According to Utah Highway Patrol, the Iron County crash was the only fatal accident in Utah over the holiday weekend.
North Korea is once again conducting missile launches. After a brief pause in weapons testing, the country launched a ballistic missile into the sea off the coast of Japan 2 weeks ago. It was the most successful launch North Korea has had, reaching a height of just under 3,000 miles. If the missile had been fired on a standard trajectory, science estimate it would have been able to travel over 8,000 miles. The missile launch was North Korea's 6th of the year, but first in 2 months. Following the launch, South Korean Prime Minister Shinzo Abe called for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. President Trump condemned the missile launch and said in a tweet that major sanctions would be imposed on North Korea.
NBC is searching for a new morning show host after Today Show anchor Matt Lauer was fired last week. Lauer is accused of inappropriate sexual behavior, according to NBC. The network received a complaint about Lauer's behavior last Monday, and by Wednesday, his Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie announced his removal from the popular morning show. Lauer is one of the highest paid anchors on television and has been hosting the Today Show since 1997. Since his firing, there have been more reports of Lauer's misconduct, including allegations that he called a former employee to his office and sexually assaulted her. Lauer released a statement last Thursday morning saying that he was truly sorry and, quote, repairing the damage will take a lot of time and soul searching, end quote. The Today Show has not named a replacement for Lauer.
The Iron County Sheriff's Office is reporting an unusual discovery after the Bryan Head fire. As crews continue to clean up and revegetate after the burn, they have found makeshift cabins and bunkers with homemade explosives and grenades. While fighting the fire, some firefighters reported hearing explosions in one area they thought were rocks. It turns out they were homemade explosives. Bomb squads and the FBI have helped stabilize some locations. A person of interest from Parowan has indicated where several cabins and bunkers were. Possible criminal charges and fines related to the illegal cabins and explosives may be pending.
Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore is experiencing an upswing in popularity just a week out from the special election. After being asked to withdraw from the election following sexual assault allegations, Moore now has a 5-point lead over his Democratic competitor. A Washington Post article published on November 9th accused Moore of sexually assaulting 2 teenagers in the 1970s when he was 32. Since the initial allegations, more women have also come out claiming Moore harassed or assaulted them. Immediately following the Washington Post report, several prominent Republicans called on Moore to withdraw from the race. Moore refused to step down and has a slight edge over Democrat Doug Jones going into the December 12th special election. Coming up on SUTV, Amy will let you know about the weather.
And later, Dan will give us an update in sports. Stay tuned.
Hi T-Birds, when we come back, we're going to take a look at the North Pole's weather, so stay tuned.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Hi T-Birds, welcome to the weather segment. We're going to talk about Cedar City's weather right now. It is December and it's finally cold outside, but it's a little deceiving because the sun is out, but I'm freezing out here and I'm bundled up. The high today is 35 degrees with a low of 16. Tomorrow will get a little bit warmer with a high of 41 and a low of 17. Bryan Head will be open for a limited time this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Salt Lake this weekend got some snow, but there's still no chance of Cedar City getting any snow. Let's take a look at some other places in the world, like the North Pole, where Santa is. His weather today is 16 degrees, so he's probably freezing down there. And let's look at another place, the Bahamas, where I'd rather be, and that is 84 degrees today. So I hope everybody gets tickets to the Bahamas for Christmas. How about you guys at the desk?
Absolutely would rather be there.
Oh, no, I'm ready. I'm ready for Christmas time. I'm ready for snow.
Way too cold.
No, I'm just fine with cold for this brief moment in Christmas time because
Sure.
I want a white Christmas.
Sure.
Thanks for the weather update, Amy.
Dan, what do you have next for sports?
Well, the holidays are officially upon us, and so is the end of the semester. Coming up, I'll bring you the results of the FCS playoff game between your Thunderbirds and Weber State. But spoiler alert, the results are heartbreaking. Don't budge.
Travel is part of the American way of life.
When we're on vacation, we keep an eye out for anything that looks out of place.
Miss your bag.
When we travel from city to city, we pay attention to our surroundings.
Everyone plays a role in keeping our community safe.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
For 3 months, I was being treated for high blood pressure and migraines, which were actually the symptoms. The cause was kidney disease. If you were a member of one of those high-risk groups, I would have your kidney function checked. Early detection can prevent further kidney damage. It was amazing even to my doctor how much diet impacted my personal disease. The power to reduce risk for kidney disease is in your hands. I just feel that my whole life has come back to me.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
How's it hanging, T-Bird Nation? This is a nice break from studying for finals, which are, coming up next week, and I know I'm ready to bring you what happened in sports here at SU and elsewhere. So let's get right down to business in the pre-holiday break sports world, shall we? SU football head coach Demario Warren has been named the Region 5 Coach of the Year by the Football Coaches Association for earning many wins and a bye in the playoffs in a single season in only his second with the team. This was one of the divisions where the regional coach nominees were recognized and selected by members of the association. So far, Coach Warren has scored 15 wins and 8 defeats in his career with the Thunderbirds. As a result of the wildly successful campaign from the season, he will come back next season with a new set of confidence. Out of the teams from Weber State and SUU, the better team won the rematch of the Beehive Bowl Saturday night, but that team was not SUU. The Birds got off to a promising 10-0 first quarter lead after Jake Green scored a touchdown and Manny Burrs sent 3 more to the board. But that is when it unraveled as Weber State took the lead, and although Burrs added another field goal heading into halftime, that was the last SU would score on the night as the Wildcats would pull away in the second half of the game to leave the Thunderbirds with a 30-13 defeat in the second round of the FCS playoffs. Although they weren't able to catch the Wildcats like they did last October, that leaves the T-Birds' final overall record at 9-3 on the season. Still, this remains the best season in Thunderbird history and would be recognized as a standard for many future T-Bird teams to follow. Thank you for a great season, T-Birds, and we will get it next year. On the other end of the spectrum, the basketball team improved to 4-3 with the win over the San Diego Christian College Hawks on the same day of the playoff game. They scored an 87-68 victory. Brandon Better piloted the T-Birds in scoring and rebounds on the day was 21 through the hoop and 8. Jane Coey tallied 16, while Jamal Eitz had 14 and 2 more players scored in doubles and to help them get to a winning record after 7 games, and they are still undefeated at home. This is the first time they have eclipsed the 500 record since the 2013-14 era. they will try to continue that streak as they take on the Long Beach State 49ers tomorrow. Will they continue the hot streak at home? We will find out. And lastly, in sports for this semester, it has officially been announced that SUU is now ranked 38th in the Division I Directors standings for this fall. They were one of only 2 teams in the Big Sky to be in the standings, and they were ranked in the top 6 among the FCS schools in the nation. A solid season by teams including the cross-country squads as well as the field hockey team helped their rankings as one of the highest-ranked programs in the country. And sadly, that is the last for SUU sports on the day. And don't forget, the hockey team has started playing in the local aquatic center. So you might want to catch these skating birds playing in their first season, and will catch a call for an icy future for many players to follow in their footsteps. Again, thank you for a fantastic run in the past 4 months, and have a great holiday break. We'll see you back in January. Hey guys, this weather reminds me of the song Cold by Maroon 5 and Ice Ice Baby. Which song do you think reminds you of the freezing atmosphere here?
I'm going to have to say Let It Go from Frozen, right?
I hate that a lot.
What? It's, all right, I kind of understand why you hate it.
Do people actually like that song, though?
4-year-olds, yeah. They're way into it.
No, that doesn't count.
Other people, not so much.
Thanks for the weather update, or sports update, Dan. Coming up after the break, we'll update you about the recent net neutrality decision.
And we'll tell you about the bike share program next semester. Stay tuned.
Listen up. Each year, hundreds of promising research studies go unfunded for breast cancer, for lung cancer, every cancer. The American Cancer Society has been behind nearly every breakthrough in recent history. But there's still more work to do. So let's make sure that no research is silenced. Let's make noise. Let's make noise. Yeah. And let's finish the fight.
Toxic chemicals and carcinogens are leaching into the environment. It's happening right where we live, work, and play. Everywhere. Cigarette butts are toxic waste. Let's stop the toxic litter. Learn more at rethinkbutts.org.
I'm hungry. I can't see the board.
Good morning, class. Everyone ready to learn today?
Of course they aren't ready. Across America, health barriers keep millions of disadvantaged school children from learning. Children's Health Fund is working to remove those barriers. But to really change the odds for these kids, we need your help. To find out how you can give every child a chance to be healthy and ready to learn, visit childrenshealthfund.org today.
Life is made of moments. Family. A drunk driver could take it all away. Keep your family safe on the road, because after all, nothing is more beautiful. Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Keep your family safe.
The last member of the royal family is officially off the market. Britain's Prince Harry announced his engagement to American actress Meghan Markle last Monday. The couple dated for a year and a half leading up to the engagement. Prince Harry is the younger brother of Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge. Markle is a divorcee who will be baptized into the Church of England before the wedding. Upon marrying Markle, the two will become a Duke and Duchess, but the royal family has not said what the couple's title will officially be. The wedding is set to take place at Windsor Castle in May 2018.
SU is looking to bring a bike share campus to program next semester. The university is looking into providing over a dozen bikes for students that can be picked up and dropped off around campus. The bikes would not be free for students, but would cost somewhere around 50 cents per half hour of use. The university will place bike racks at strategic locations around campus. Currently, SU is asking for student input on where the bike racks should be located. If you have an opinion, contact your academic senator or SU USA representative.
One of Donald Trump's primary campaign promises hit a unique snag. The card game Cards Against Humanity announced last Wednesday that it purchased a section of the U.S.-Mexican border with the intention of preventing the government from building Trump's famous wall. The purchase of the land was part of a promotional stunt called Cards Against Humanity Saves America. 150,000 Cards Against Humanity players contributed $15 to the cause in return for a surprise gift package. The company hasn't disclosed the location or the size of the land purchased. They did say, however, they hired a law firm specializing in eminent domain to, quote, make it as time-consuming and expensive as possible for the wall to get built.
Net neutrality is once again a national debate. Chairman of the SEC, Ajit Pai, announced his plans to roll back an Obama-era order on net neutrality. Removing current net neutrality restrictions could open the door for internet providers charging consumers and websites more money to access certain content. The FCC received millions of comments about the potential repeal, although many of them were generated by robots. Obama's 2015 order defined the internet as a public utility rather than a market of competing private networks. Before 2015, there were no official rules or laws regarding net neutrality.
SUU recently celebrated their donors on Thank a Giver Day. Our reporter Chloe Howe has the story.
It's time once again for SUU's annual Thank a Giver celebration. Thank a Giver Day, or Tag Day, is all about creating an opportunity for students to say thank you to all those alumni, friends, faculty, and staff who donate to the livelihood of the university. SUU thrives on the donations from the community.
But really, everything that we have on campus is because of donors. Like the new business building, if it wasn't for Dixie and Levitt, we wouldn't have that building because they donated a big majority of what we're needing to have that building. And so really, without donors, we wouldn't even have a school.
From 8:30 to 1:30, 9 different booths were set up around campus for students to write a thank you card to express gratitude for our donors. In celebration of the day, the SUU Annual Fund also gave away a $500 scholarship to one lucky student. All you had to do was write a thank you card and snap a selfie or take a picture with a sign around campus to be automatically entered into the contest.
By giving scholarships, there's no better way for a student to have that because coming to school is so expensive. We all know that. The cost keeps rising, and if we didn't have some assistance from scholarships, a lot of these students would be here today. So a lot of the things that we're thanking our donors for is because of that. Our beautiful buildings. We've got the business building that's coming up right now. We've got the sports performance building that's going to be built. And we've got the new child family care building that's going to be built. All that is only to be able to be done because of our donors.
The only reason why I'm here is because of donors who gave money so that I could have a scholarship. So I am so grateful for the people who are willing to donate, the alumni who have been to SU and are giving back to the students who are coming because it's literally the reason why I'm getting an education.
SUU truly wouldn't be where it is today without the support of our donors. For SUTVNews, I'm Chloe Howe.
Well, Dan, I hope you have a fantastic winter break.
Oh, same here. Same to you, Grace.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I also would like to have a good winter break.
For sure.
Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in this afternoon. That's all we have for you today. I'm Grace Schultz.
I'm Dan Lopper.
And I'm Colton Gordon. Thanks for joining us.